So we're in the G37, which unfortunately means that the Mustang is not ready. Let's talk about it because I got a call from the dealer and it's not what I expected it to be. All right, let's fire up the G37. Nice cold start. I miss my Mustang. Don't get me wrong, the G37 is fun to drive, but it's nothing like the Mustang. And for something that I didn't think was gonna take that long, I'm definitely missing the Mustang. So let's go ahead and get out on the road, talk about what's wrong with the Mustang, what did the dealer say, and how we can fix it. We're gonna let the car warm up a little bit before we go. Well, this is no Mustang. I just need to fill some void with not having my Mustang, and I might not have it for a few more days. And that's what we're going to talk about, what I got a call from the dealership. It was kind of different than what we had originally talked about, because I dropped the car and I made sure that the car is going to be done in a day or so. I understand that I got to order the parts. There is some good news with the parts, but let's talk about what the dealer said. I just got a call this morning that the dealer said that they were able to order the parts, but the techs are very busy and they can't get to the car. So they suggested I can either actually pick up the car or leave it there, but they cannot promise me turnaround time really, because it might lead into next week and that's not fun. God, that's a terrible parking job. Let me fix this first. All right, this is much better. We can get used to that. All right, so let's talk about what the dealer said. Now, don't get me wrong, I still appreciate having the G37. It's no Mustang, but it still kind of helps getting my fill of getting a little bit of acceleration out with this car. But I'm starting to miss the Mustang, especially with what the dealer said, and that's not going to be fun. So I got a call from the dealer. They're saying they were able to order the parts, no backlog on the parts. But like I said, the techs are busy, and that is just not fun, because when I dropped in the car, I initially talked to them that I want to make sure the car is ready as early as it can be. So they said drop it first thing in the morning, and they will make sure that the car is looked at the same day, and I'm not going to have a downtime. At worst, maybe a day or so where, you know, they have to get the parts in and do the installation. But the dealer was pretty confident that the B0430 code I'm having, they can easily replicate that and replace the part under warranty. But of course, it comes with its issues. So while they were able to get the parts, they said there's, I think, 2 or 3 techs that they said they were going to have, but they're out this week for some reason. So they're just not confident if they can work on the car on this week. And the problem is, now, if you guys recall, I don't mind waiting because I want the job to be done perfectly or as good as it can be. But the issue is the check engine light comes and goes. So the dealer called, they're like, hey, it might be next week where we can really look at your car if we were being honest. So he was like, you can either leave the car in or just pick up your car and we'll make sure the parts are in there. We'll schedule your car to be worked on next week. We'll pick a specific day so you can drop it in the morning and pick it up the next day. Now, normally I would say this is pretty good because, you know, the parts are going to be there. I can drop the car in the morning and just pick it up in the evening. But we know with the check engine light, it's been very stubborn. It comes in, it goes. It has a mind of its own. And the last thing I'm going to do is pick up the car. But right now, the check engine light is on. The last thing I'm going to do is pick up the car, drive it around, the check engine light goes away. And we know it can take a couple weeks before it gets back on. Even before this appointment, I had the check engine light for almost 1,000+ miles when I had returned it to stock. The day I took the appointment is when it decides to go away on its own. I had to drive for a couple weeks. I was actually getting very nervous because I had the appointment booked and the light did not come on. So that was a little concerning because I did not want to go into the dealership and not have a check engine light. So that's my concern. If I pick up the car, the check engine light might go away. It's there right now, but it might just go away. We just don't know. So that's the last thing I want to do, because the weather has been getting very nice and I want to be able to enjoy the car. So the last thing I want to do is pick up the car, the check engine goes away, and I have to still drive on Stockton for, I don't know, another few hundred miles before it pops back on. Next thing you know, we're like in the middle of the summer. So I don't want to do that. So I think I'm going to leave, you know, the car with the dealer. They said either was fine, but I think I'm just going to leave the car with the dealer and just kind of express some urgency there that I really need the car back, and while the parts are there, if they can find a tech to work on it, that would be really preferred. Because like I said, I don't mind driving this car around, but once the weather is nice, I would prefer to be driving my Mustang. So we're gonna kind of express some urgency with the dealership. And the thing is, like, I want to get the work done, but I want it done properly. I don't want the dealer to rush the job, think that it's, you know, very urgent and needs to be high priority, and they just kind of give it to some tech who's not maybe capable of doing it, or they mess it up, and next thing you know, I have to go back to the dealer to have it fixed. So I'm going to call the dealer back because they left me with the option saying I could pick either. So I'm going to give them a call back, let them know that I would prefer that they work on the car properly. Even if that means I have to wait another week, it's fine. I'll just drive this car. And I don't have to worry about getting the car back in, because once it's back, I want to actually have it back and not have to deal with it. I've been talking to Lund Racing as well for the next future plans of the car. We're talking about E85, we're talking about ESS. So I want to have all these plans ready, and once we get the car back, I want to start acting on them. So last thing I want to do is get the car back and basically have to return it back, or go back to the dealership because they did the job properly. Until then, we're gonna be driving the G37. Maybe, since I don't have the Mustang, if anything, it gives me more time to think about what I want to do with this car in terms of the future mods and all that stuff. So I'm gonna start brewing a list. I know we talked about doing the headlights, maybe fixing up the wheels, and a chrome delete, which would also work well. And then once we kind of figure those things out, the Mustang will come back, and I think that this will probably sit this project on this. Gonna be a little bit of summertime. We're gonna do some mods, but mostly it's gonna be in the fall, because I really want to focus the summer for the Mustang, whether it's the E85 and doing a lot more track runs, or going boost, which means getting more tires, like a better tire like the Nitto R2s and the whole 9, which will take a lot more money than what I would have to put on the G37. And if I do end up boosting the Mustang this summer, then we need this car to be reliable. So I cannot go ahead and have so many miles in this car where, like you guys saw, it has 170,000 plus miles on it. So I don't want to get something where it's gonna not be able to fulfill the daily drivability. I have a boosted Mustang that is relatively reliable, but it could run into issues, and then I also mess up with this car, and it's not gonna be fun. But yeah, guys, so that's where we are with the Mustang. Not really a fun call to receive this morning, but it is what it is. I don't mind driving this Infiniti, so we're gonna be driving this car for a few more days, and hopefully we get a call back from the dealership that the car is good to go, and we can pick her up and talk about the next stuff we're gonna do with this car. If I really think about it, this issue popped up back in August of 2024. It's been almost like 9 months and still hasn't been fixed. Now the thing is, since August, I did not care about it. I still had it tuned. I was driving the car how I was supposed to do it. So up until December, I still enjoyed the car a lot. It wasn't until January when I returned it back to stock. It was kind of getting cold. Let me return the car back to stock, take it to the dealership, and have it fixed. So from January to like April or so, it's been on a stock tune. Granted, I didn't drive it that much because we got a lot of snow this year, which is not normal for here. But yeah, we got a lot of snow, so I didn't get to drive the car that much. But still, I've been pretty much driving the car on stock tune, which is not that fun, especially when the weather is nice. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully the dealer, the next time they call me, is basically saying the car is ready and there's no other issues, or worst case, they are giving me issues with the warranty, saying that Ford is not going to cover the catalytic converters under the warranty, which would actually really suck. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. I will be posting an update video very soon, hopefully with some good news where we can talk about the Mustang and the future plans for the car.